You've got a few items.
But you sat through the whole thing and had just 10 minutes.
Oh, wait, I can take minutes.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna leave, but I forgot, Orange
Okay.
told me I was gonna do it.
Jen's here.
Wow. We have an extinguisher here because I think the carpet's gonna settle.
Yeah. Have a good evening off.
Evening off, it's,
Yeah.
Trevor. Now Trevor's gonna see how quick he can get through these.
Yeah. I've been working with DOT design team in regards to their interchange, specifically at 2nd Street. Obviously, there's some significant changes there. Typically, when a project like this comes forward and it abuts or impacts the municipality or the parcel owner, they ask for a concurrency letter. So what isn't attached to this evening is review by our city engineer, Wallace Engineering, Dan Schaefer. I did talk to him today. He's about 3/4 of the way through his review to make sure that it falls within our engineering standards for road widths, storm drainage, all of the above for the improvements that DOT is proposing. So that will be attached and part of the packet for your consideration at next council meeting.
Should we just expect to see a lot more of these?
Concurrency letters with DOT? No, I think for this project, it should be close. Yeah, it's not phase by phase. It's for the full extent of the project, all the way from West Slough to where it transitioned at 6th Street. So we're still working through those specifics, and I actually have a meeting with Dan tomorrow morning to go over that, to make sure there's no issues within our standards and the AASHTO standards, so.
I'm not sure who made the comment here that Mr. Hajari would have not built that hotel over there if he knew what the plans were coming. I talked to the individual building the Black Pearl. He loves the site.
Yeah.
He thinks this is awesome and it's gonna complement his restaurant. And he said he actually had the conversation with Mr. Hajari, and he said he's never heard that come out of his mouth. So wherever that comment came from, I honestly can't tell you now who said it, but I just wanted to correct it, that somebody that's a major player in that area says, this is great, this is gonna work.
Comment came from Don Bowman
Oh, well.
oh, that's right.
at a meeting that I attended. And I heard the comment.
Okay, other questions for Trevor on the concurrence letter? Training Center.
Yes, utilize District 5, Northwest Regional Training Center. You also see attached what it's cost annually for each FTE within Public Works for those services, and it's come down quite drastically. Any type of training or certification endorsement that pretty much isn't mandatory at this point, we've taken off the board. So it's about $168 per employee. The trainings that we can't provide in-house when it gets down to flagging certs, first aid, CPR, bucket truck training, things like that. Obviously we use Northwest Regional Training, and it's close proximity off 205 and Fort Plain. So very affordable training opportunity through District 5.
Trev, how
Yeah.
come Washougal isn't listed on this chart, the all-star list at all?
All-star list.
It's on the back of the, it's on the back of the graph, the annual employee cost graph.
Good question.
I mean, there's nothing, this rates compliance of 80% or higher, and yet there's not a single inclusion of Washougal in here.
Maybe we're not all-stars.
Maybe we're,
It's probably participation driven, obviously, depending on how many programs you're enrolled in.
okay,
And I mentioned earlier that we don't participate in a lot of the programs that aren't mandatory or required,
okay.
but I can check into that just to confirm and let you know.
Is this their own safety training all-star list, or is this some, it's a sticker that they give, or is this something that, like L&I gives us or something, you know what I mean?
I think there's specific criteria around District 5 and how you score compliance-wise to be able to be a all-star.
For them.
The 80%.
It's a District 5 all-star.
Yeah.
Okay.
You get a baseball player.
I just started seeing a little gold star on their shoulder.
Football, autograph football.
Yeah, autographed football.
Okay.
Kennedy Jinks.
Yes, Kennedy Jenks, updating end of the year expiration, getting the contract current to go through 2011. We're still working with them on the biosolids alternatives, as well as submitting our general sewer master plan to the Department of Ecology. We anticipate doing that mid to late spring, so even though we're extending it to the end of 2011, we anticipate that work being fully complete and submitted to Ecology for their consideration.
No dollars involved, just moving the timeline.
Contract extension, with it being expiring next month.
Now, is this the one where we're in violation with Department of Ecology?
No, we're not in violation with Ecology currently,
Okay, that's
with
not-
biosolids.
Not with biosolids, but with our water?
No, we're in full compliance.
We're in compliance, but we are on thin ice in terms of our plan and with the pressure up on the hill and.
Okay, that's what I was.
The
trying to-
redundancy.
And the redundancy at our sewer plants.
Low pressure events for the potable water system, but Department
But
of
we're not,
I'm not-
we're not in trouble yet, but we're waiting to be.
Tonight when I came in, I had a conversation with Trevor, and I actually sent him an email last week about somewhere, I believe it's in Lane County, just down Salem, some of that direction. And it's a very popular program of putting the sludge on farmers' grounds.
Yeah, I saw that in the paper.
I asked him if he would open that door back up again and get somebody from down there to come up and help us sell that, because would you say that potentially it could be 10, 12, 15 years of application that would save us a bunch?
Well, the property we're putting it on now, the Ports property, is that not their hayfield?
Yeah,
Right.
it's identified as part of their East Industrial Park
When they went
expansion.
out, they got beat up big time, so.
Yeah, and that was exploratory, we had sites that were over 40 acres, but within Clark/Skamania County, setbacks, wellheads, all those things, but yeah, it wasn't
That
well
would be
received.
a huge cost saving if we could still continue to do that.
Yep.
We'll need a lot more community gardens.
Well, just as an aside, Lane County is Eugene,
Okay.
and it is one of the 3 counties most dependent on timber revenue of any counties in the state of Oregon. They have a bunch of tree farms there. And that's one of the perfect uses for Class B solids, because you can't put them on
Right.
food
Right.
crops.
Is that why you don't buy Christmas trees from down there?
It's very similar to what the city of Camas was doing with their Class B hauling to Centralia, thickening the sludge and hauling prior to their mechanical plant upgrade, but tree farm application.
I'll stick with the old aluminum tree.
Scott.
Dave?
Did I read an implication in here that they're behind schedule or something?
Yeah, staff, I say we, dictated that they fell behind in their proposed Gantt chart, their schedule, pulling them back on the biosolids feasibility and looking at more options. When Camas did their mechanical plant expansion, we wanted to see if there was any validity to hauling to them or doing some minor improvements now at the plant to buy us some more time before we do those expensive capital improvements. So we slowed them down a little bit, reined them in.
So they're not in trouble in terms of meeting their Gantt chart timelines, it's just a question of having direction changed on them.
Right,
Okay.
yeah. Our ultimate deadline for our general sewer plan and our wastewater master plan is summer 11.